Hello and happy Friday! Welcome to Murder is Game Over. Streaming Death via streaming. Interesting. Hello, John. Murder is Game Over. Streaming Death is available now on the Xbox Store for the price of $3.99. Let's go play. Alright, Murder is Game Over. Streaming Death has 11 achievements. Ooh, Pet the Cat. We are favoriting that. For 1,000 gamer score. Press the A button to advance the game text. Introduction. Introduction. Massachusetts coast, present day. Welcome to this month's meeting of the Cape Crescent Historical Society. I'm beginning the official minutes now. We're blessed to have everyone with us this evening. Dr. Todd, Gordon, and you, Camellia, our fearless leader. Where are our manners? Who is the new girl in the back of the room? Oh, this month we have a visitor. Say hello to Pearl Brayshaw. Pearl is, why don't you tell the group yourself? Hi. My name is Pearl, and I'm visiting Cape Crescent from the city for a while. I'm a social media streamer who focuses on paranormal mysteries when I'm not gaming. Then you're certainly come to the right place. Welcome to Cape Crescent, Pearl. Hey, you're E-Girl Pearl on the internet. You're a big-time influencer. Yep, that's me. Pearl, dear, if you're interested, could you accompany us on a walk through the Lost Settlement tomorrow? The Lost Settlement is an abandoned Puritan village nearby. According to the legend, the area is haunted. You irresponsible fools shouldn't go in there. That place has been under a terrible curse since colonial times. Take it easy, Gordon. Even the kids didn't see anything strange during our group's last visit. Sure, I'd love to go. That would be awesome. I could even film it for my stream. What's that? At the window. Look! No! It can't be. It's Clover. Boo. It's the ghost of Elias Abel. Elias Abel from the witch trials on olden times? This is all my doing. Forgive me, Lord. What do you mean, Father? It's a diabolical omen. I warned you. Warned you all. My camera's dead. I said I'd fix it. Are we really being tormented? The ghost. He's gone. Dun dun dun. The investigation. The following morning, the mystery is solved. Nothing to see here, Detective Guy. You and your dog Cleo can both go home. We were asked to come at a moment's notice because of a suspicious death. You're too late. As a resourceful Detective Dooley have already taken care of the business at hand. He says the case is solved. What are we supposed to do now, Cleo? Since you're hanging around, we could both take a lesson from my exemplary investigation. Hello, Sir Khalid. Do I detect that you're stumped already? What would you like to know first? Don't worry, even a new detective has to start somewhere. Use the left stick to move. Holding down the left trigger and right trigger will make you move faster. To talk to someone, press A. A buttons will select dialogue options. Press menu button to access the menu and see the case file. Then B to close the menu. If you need a hint about what to do next, you can access the hint function via the menu. An illustrated map of Cape Crescent can be found in the menu too. Lastly, you can use the menu to save your game. Alright, Detective, time to listen and learn. You'll get nowhere fishing for compliments from me, Detective Guy. You and Cleo are an accomplished detective team, and you've solved some challenging cases. However, this is my jurisdiction. This case belongs to me, Detective Dudley, and no one else. I don't care how good you are. I don't appreciate you two being sent here to muck around on my turf. Where we're standing now is in a park called Gallows Point. The whole surrounding peninsula is called Cape Crescent. Cape Crescent is a small historical village in the municipality of Amesport on the Massachusetts coast. Southwest of here is the way to the village, just a small downtown connected to a few streets. The victim is a young woman named Pearl Brayshaw. Pearl? She lived in one of the cottages nearby in Cape Crescent. Have you heard of her? My sources tell me that Pearl was something of a popular video game streamer and social media influencer. That's right, eGirl Pearl, as she was known on the Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, the works. She had millions of subscribers. Not anymore. I figured it all out. Pearl Brayshaw hanged herself. What? Did you find a suicide note? No, but it's still the only possible solution. There's a rope around her neck, and she's not breathing. Case closed. No. If you take a walk around Gallows Point, you'll find Pearl's body. You could confirm what I found for yourself. Cape Crescent is an isolated village. The people here are generally well-to-do and want to be left alone. In the village, you'll find Pearl's roommate and her neighbors. Most of them are members of the Cape Crescent Historical Society. When I interviewed them, they all talked about some foolishness with a dead colonial ghost. Utter nonsense. Someone also told me about a young man seen near here around the time of death. Also, clearly, a fabrication. I'm ready. This is an obvious suicide, and you really should just go home. If you insist, you can still look for clues on the Gallows Point. In the unlikely event that you find something I missed, by all means, come back and tell me. But this is my case, detective guy. I'd appreciate it if you keep your mutt out of my way too. Alright, Cleo, let's go find the victim's body. Hey, where do you think you're going? I keep telling you, I've already solved the case. There's no need for you to go to the village. Come on, Cleo, there must be a clue we missed somewhere. Alright, I can't do that. It's the body of the victim, Pearl Brayshaw. Jeez. She looks like she's in her early 20s. Can it really be possible that this poor young woman hanged herself with this rope? No, you're right, Cleo. This rope is old and falling apart. There's no way it would have supported the weight of her body. There's also no rope burn on her neck. This proves it. Pearl Brayshaw didn't hang herself. Detective Dudley is wrong. He's not gonna be happy to hear this, but maybe he'll stop interfering with me now. Alright, let's go talk to the cop. I found Pearl Brayshaw's body, and it doesn't look like a suicide to me. She didn't hang herself, Detective Dudley. Of Of course she did. What are you talking about? The rope around her neck is frayed and tattered. It's so old, it may have even been an antique. If Pearl had tried using it to hang herself, it wouldn't have been strong enough to support her body weight. When someone hangs themselves, the rope leaves an abrasion on the neck from the body's force, a rope burn. There was no rope burn on Pearl Brayshaw's neck. This invalidates your idea that she hanged herself. Hello, M317. Happy Friday. A mere conjecture, Detective Guy. If you put some effort into exploring Gallows Point, you realize how wrong you are. Hello, Shih Tzu. Then you'd see that there is no evidence of another person ever being in the park. Pearl Brayshaw had to have hanged herself simply because nobody else was here. You and Cleo really need to get a clue. Dude, you're dumb. Get a clue. That's it. I'm sure the Detective Dudley is wrong about the case, the cause of death. But we need to find a clue that proves that someone else was here. Come on, Cleo. Let's go back and look for the missing clue that we must have overlooked. The dog's name is Hester. She seems friendly. Why is she roaming around alone like this? What do you want, Hester? I don't have any dog toys. Something tells me this dog is going to be important. I guess we'll be seeing you around, Hester. Nice pass. Good morning, Detective. I'm so glad you can make it. We need you on this case. I know Detective Dudley can be a handful, but deep down, he's committed to justice and doing the right thing. Trust me. Detective Dudley hasn't found any clues in this area, but maybe Cleo can. Compared to Cleo, your clue-sniffing dog, I don't think us people are very observant. You should explore with Cleo in front. This way you'll see a question mark appearing on the map. Go interact with one and you'll discover a clue. Clues won't appear if Guy is the party leader though, but make sure you take advantage of Cleo's fantastic detection skills. Press the X to toggle between Guy or Cleo as the leader. I saw that one there, but let's go explore the rest. Cleo found a clue. There's an engraving on the monument. At this spot, in 1692, a minister named Elias Abel was hanged by the Puritans for the crime of witchcraft. This man called Elias Abel was hanged here in colonial times? I guess that's why this park is called Gallows Point. What a morbid name. For more information on Elias Abel and the witch trials, visit the Cape Crescent Public Library. The clue is saved to your case file. Cleo deserves a treat. Cleo found a clue. It looks like a religious crucifix somebody dropped by mistake. What's this doing here on Gallows Point? This clue clearly debunks Detective Dudley's theory that nobody else was on Gallows Point. I should show this clue to him next. The clue is saved to your case file. Cleo deserves a treat. I pushed the wrong button. I meant to push these. Of course, that's not working. Cat images. Refresh. There we go. Game over. Okay, that does some weird ones. Crucifix. But someone else was here at the park, and I could prove it. Oh yeah? How? The other person who came to the Gallows Point left a clue behind. Let me show you. Someone left behind this crucifix. Hey, you're right. What's this crucifix doing here? I don't know that, but it proves there was another person in the park. Possibly the same person who killed Pearl? Then how'd she die? Pearl Brayshaw didn't hang herself from that frayed, tattered rope. Somebody strangled her. Strangulation? That means her death was a raid. Hello, Jimmy. Thank you for that raid. You need a new clip. We're playing Murder is Game Over, Streaming Death, for some funny gifts. Hello, Phyllis Bubble. Welcome. In honor of the raid, I'll push this button. Murder. Yes, of course, it does. I knew that all along. One of the residents of Cape Crescent reported seeing a young man near Gallows Point last night. It's probably the same person who dropped this crucifix and who strangled Pearl Brayshaw. Hold on. I think you're jumping to conclusions a little too fast once again. Nonsense. I'm going back to the village to block off the bridge to the mainland. That way, our man can't escape. That sounds like a good idea, Detective Dudley. For once. If you and Cleo want to help, you can search Cape Crescent and ask the other residents for information about the perpetrator. There are 7 other residents in Cape Crescent. Each one is a person of interest. I'll be at the bridge, ready to catch the young man when he tries to flee the scene. But we don't know for sure. Hello, Goldie. What this mysterious young man is, the killer. The other 7 residents are all suspects too. Then, when you flush out the culprit, you can meet me at the bridge. I'll make the arrest. Arrest? ... Nice work, Cleo. Murder. We can take the path back to Cape Crescent and then investigate each person's of interest. The park exit is just south of where we're standing. Let's go! You unlocked a new area. Check the map. Menu for an updated map. Whoa, this map is large. Murder, red rum, red rum, red rum. North, the Lost Settlement. Off limits. Leo found a clue. It's a key. I wonder what this is for. The clue is saved to your case file. Cleo deserves a treat. Squirrel. Murder. Entering for Who Wants to Be Your BFF.
Hmm.
It's Hester again. What's she doing here? I can see the Cape Crescent Village Center just up the road. We're almost there, Cleo. So this is the village of Cape Crescent. Despite the appearances, somebody in this quaint seaside village is a cold-blooded killer. Killer, killer, killer. Jordan, why are you outside? Alright, we have a lot to explore. Hello, Horror! Thank you for that raid.
Did not impress me
Welcome.
on my initial playthrough.
So murder is game over. Streaming death. Game over, man. Game over. No, Cleo, we don't have time to eat now. We've got a mystery to solve. Alright, we'll take the doggy bag with us. After we solve the case, promise, you'll get an amazing treat. Be afraid. Sir Khalid being a bot. I bet there are at least 40 doggy bags like this hidden all over the area. Let's see how many we can find. 40? Is it really 40? Wow. It is 40. It's good. It's very similar to the first one. Wow, Hotmore, wow. It's Sir Khalid's fault. You only see them as the dog. Sorry, man, I'm not supposed to give food to pets. But you should look in the back while my boss isn't here. Press X to toggle between. Sure, I could talk now that the morning rush is over. Suspect added to case file. Jill Harding, the victim's roommate and coffee shop barista. Roll out. Roll out. My name is Jill, and I was Pearl's roommate. She lived with me for just over a month, along with her dog. I'm renting one of the cottages up the wooded lane to the northwest. Pearl came to Cape Crescent to get out of the limelight a bit. As a social media star, Pearl got all kinds of attention from the public, on the internet, even death threats. She was my BFF, boo. About a month ago, she contacted me and said she wanted to leave the big city for a while. I said she could lay low here until the drama she was dealing with subsided. You know, she was famous on the internet. She took her career as a social media influencer very seriously. A little more seriously than I'd have liked. Our agreement was she'd help out with the rent, but she spent all her money on production equipment and charitable causes. She used her popularity to raise money and help her fans in need. Last month, she did a charity campaign for a kid with cancer. Pearl always meant well. Ghosts, that was her thing. Murder is game over. Never heard of it. Hello, Dem. When Pearl wasn't playing video games, she was empathetic about paranormal. When I told her about the lost settlement and the legend of Elias Abel's ghost, she agreed to move in. Last night, Pearl came home from that meeting at the library and was really shaken up. Talking about ghosts was normal for Pearl, but whatever happened this time was unusual. The cottage is currently locked until I get off work. I'll let you in to look for clues later. After Pearl came back from the library, a couple hours later, she left and went out again. She said she'd be able to take care of the late rent I had been pestering her for, especially since she bought that fancy new camera. Pearl didn't like to talk about money. It was always a touchy subject for her. She didn't elaborate on what her source of income was. I think that she wanted to keep it a secret for some reason. I stayed up waiting for Pearl to come back and bring her share of the rent, but she never returned. Roy Parker can vouch for me being at home waiting for Pearl. After Pearl disappeared, her boyfriend, Roy, showed up at the cottage unexpectedly. He said he hadn't seen Pearl since she left the city and moved in with me. He wanted to talk with Pearl about their relationship. He's the killer. I told Roy that I didn't know where Pearl was. Other than she went out to meet someone, that set him off. Of course, Roy took that to mean Pearl had gone out to meet another man. He stormed out in the night to go look for her. No. This is not an eagle. I don't think Roy is capable of crime, of passion like this, but he was totally irate last night. I've been keeping my head down here. Have the police found Roy yet? Right now they're up 14-0. Suspects found 1 out of 8. Who was that? Whoa. Why is this all marked as not red? Alright, it stays marked as unread. That's good for someone. Rockies. Yankees never played the Rockies when I was going to Colorado. What do you want, detective? Suspect added to case file. Excuse me, I already talked to the detective dummy once, and he didn't take me seriously. Name's Gordon Cutler, and I run Cutler Fisheries. The business has been in my family for 6 generations. What's left of the once great family business? Anyway, as you can see, my warehouse is falling apart. It's shameful. How am I supposed to catch fish these days? Over the last few years, all the fish in this bay have become sickly. Unfortunately, it looks like that poor sweet girl is the latest victim of our village curse. The girl's body was found near the statue of Elias Abel, right? That's enough of an explanation for me. Since the days of the witch trials, the ghost has been... Why is my email going crazy? Oh, because my phone didn't have service all day. Ghost has been enhancing his revenge on our community. My family always told me to stay away from the lost settlement because of that curse. However, not everyone in the Cape Crescent Historical Society has been so prudent. It seems cruel that Pearl Brayshaw, an outsider, who is new in town, should pay the price. You can snoop around all you want, but as far as I'm concerned, that girl was killed by our village ghost. We all saw old Elias last night at the library. He's been tormenting us here since the days of the lost settlement. My ancestors were part of the Puritan mob who had Elias Abel hanged. This is his payback. The family business has suffered as a result, but at least I'm still alive, not tempting fate. If I were you, I'd leave ghosts from the past alone too. You really think I had something to do with it? That girl's death? That's something. So happens that last night I was out talking with Camellia Crescent after the Historical Society meeting. My buddy told Beckett was there too. Odd, not told. But he went home early. Camellia and I stayed out until the sunrise. I'm playing it safe and staying away. I don't want my body to turn up dead at Gallows Point next. Dr. Eames Keene always seemed suspiciously aloof to me. She still doesn't believe in the ghost. Dr. Keene spends her nights just walking around the cemetery like some kind of witch. Now that's weird. Alright now. Suspect 2. I may smell like fish, but I don't have any fish for the dog. Hey, get away from my fish warehouse. I'm, taking a work break. Yeah, interesting. Hello, X-Cracks. Welcome. Library. Curse of the Lost Settlement. You're farming Twixter Sparks. Nice. The outcome of the witch trial, Elias Abel was sentenced to hang from a scaffold on Gallows Point. I have infinite. Before he was executed, Elias Abel cursed the village. He vowed that no settlement would survive on the land that he had been unjustly taken from. Within 5 years of his death, Elias Abel's curse proved to be true. The Puritans' new settlement was abandoned due to famine, disease, and fear. The new settlement of the Puritans on Elias Abel's land became known as the Lost Settlement and was soon shunned by the nearby villagers. Hey. Hello, Mr. Coolness. Welcome to Streaming Murder. Historical Society books read 1 out of 3. It's 5 bags. Cape Crescent today remains a small village inhabited by some direct descendants of the Puritans from the witch trial era. The Lost Settlement is still an uninhabited ghost town, returning to the forest. Nothing but cellar holes, and the old Quaker meeting house still stands. The area is filled with the folk legends about Elias Abel's ghost appearing. With a centuries-old curse still cited as blame for recent spells of disease in the vicinity, Cape Crescent locals stay out of the Lost Settlement for fear of supernatural danger. The Cape Crescent Historical Society meets once a month here at our library. The end. Historical Society books 2 of 3. Thank you for that sub, NXT. Welcome to Murder is Game Over. I want to say only murders in this building. In the late 1600s, there lived a wealthy Quaker minister named Elias Abel. He owned the land and known as the Lost Settlement and built a small church. Hello, Benton. Led by the jealous leaders of the rival Puritan church, the Cape Crescent villagers sought to seize possession of Elias Abel's land for their own use. Thus, in 1692, at the height of the Salem witch trial hysteria, Elias Abel was accused of witchcraft. No towing. I don't know that word. The public pressure, even his own congregation turned on him. Goldeneye is second. Elias Abel's accusers proved that the minister's powerful, booming voice and eloquent sermons can only be the work of the devil. Abel was found guilty. To be continued. Historical Society, Book 3. Hey, that's a Chivo. I guess you're new in town too, detective. Suspect added to case file. I'm Camellia Crescent, and I work as the librarian in our little village, born and raised here in Cape Crescent. My job is to preserve history and to keep our small, quiet village small and quiet. How can you keep it small and quiet? I also run the Cape Crescent Historical Society events in the back room of the library. If you want to learn more about Cape Crescent, there are 3 books about our colonial past scattered in the library. Pearl said she made videos where she explained haunted places. I gave her some appropriate material to read. She wanted to make a video exploring the lost settlement of its area. What? Lost settlement. It's the area to the east of the city center that's been sealed off. Thank you for those bits, GoldenEye. I didn't appreciate Pearl Brayshaw's waving that camera around for the whole internet to see, but I'm polite. Frankly, I didn't want e-girl Pearl using her massive popularity to turn the lost settlement into Times Square. Last night was the first time I'd ever seen the ghost. I hope it will be the last. Good evening, DX. That other cop thought I was making the whole thing up, but seeing is believing. Since this is a public library, we have surveillance videos recording everything on the premises. You're the detective. Go to the meeting room in the back of the library. You can watch the tape there. After the Historical Society meeting, I stayed out late talking with Gordon Cutler and Todd Beckett. Assuming Pearl Brayshaw wasn't killed by a ghost from the 1600s, I was the one who reported the young man going towards the gallows point and then running back. Have you found him? He looked around the same age as Pearl. He ran from the coastal road across the village center. I don't think he saw me, and I lost sight of him in the shadows further down the road. I know you've got to find out what happened. Just don't turn Cape Crescent into some Hollywood cop show. Nothing else for now. 3 of 8. Murder. Murder Inc. Seven of 40. We're almost at 20%, 25%. Let's see what's on this computer. Streaming Death. Live on Spotify. It's video footage from the Cape Crescent Historical Society meeting last night. Oh, you meant a bunch of crows. Yes, a murder is a bunch of crows. It's the ghost. Eli Sable from the witch trials in olden times? This is all my doing. Forgive me, Lord. What do you mean, Father? It's a diabolical omen. I warned you all. My camera's dead. I said I'd fix it. Are we really being tormented? The ghost, he's gone. What do you make of that, Cleo? That's 8. All right, let's go to church first. Dude, Why are you running? I assume you can. Who was that? Woo, woo. Leo found a clue. It's a recent issue of the Amesport local newspaper. Physician Dr. Enos Keene has recently retired from her local medical practice after many years. Dr. Keene's retirement comes after a string of local youths were diagnosed with cancer, including several of her patients. When asked about whether the child cancer cases are related to the curse of Elias Abel, Dr. Keene did not comment. A clue is saved. Alright, let's talk to the person first. I don't know anything about E-Girl Pearl. I wasn't anywhere near the wooded lane last night. I'm just a local kid saying my daily prayer. What are you, some kind of stalker? Speaking of stalker,
Are you still there?
Monday night, Stalker 3, which is not Stalker 3 because Stalker 2 is coming out, but it's the third of the Stalker 1 trilogy? Who knows? Leave me alone. She seems like she's hiding something. Maybe if we find an important clue, we'll be able to get through to her. Right. Map. Where are we? I don't even know where we are. That's 25% already. That's pretty quick, but I have a feeling it's gonna go slower. It's the tide table for the Cape Crescent. This tells the correct time for high and low tide each day. Who would need this? And what's it doing hidden down here? The clue is saved. Alright, so both those go to the same. The key I found fits the lock. Let's see what's up here. Nice. Nice already having it's a telescope. Somebody must have used this to spy on something or someone or something. What are we supposed to look at? Well, it's funny, you can't access anything unless you're the dog. Stalker 3, which is Stalker 1.3. Oh yeah. That's not what I'm gonna need. Alvor is racing me. Alright. Race on. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Suspect added. Father Michael Wheeler, priest at the Church of Good Voyage. I am Father Wheeler, and I'm the priest of this church. You must be here to investigate the murder. I've been here in this village through the good times and the bad. Cape Crescent used to be a safe, quiet seaside community. Recently, it's become sad and ominous. I can only hope that God has brought you here to deliver us from this crisis. Young Miss Pearl was new in town. He wasn't a parishioner. I don't approve of talking so openly about ghosts, but in spite of that, I truly hope she finds the Lord. May God rest her soul. Whatever we saw last night, it certainly wasn't the Holy Spirit. I can only pray for that horrible spirit of the devil from bygone days to depart this world. I see you found my crucifix. The one I left behind at Gallows Point. Alright, it's true. I can't hide it anymore. I did it. I confess I'm guilty. What? I doubted. I lied. After seeing those poor kids nearby get stuck with cancer here, I began to doubt my faith. But now, after this horrible death, of course, I have only guilt. This cruel ghost was brought here by God to punish me for my doubts. Forgive me, Lord. Something unholy is going on, that's all I can say for sure. The key to the church tower has gone missing. I'm certain that I didn't misplace it. There's nothing up there but a beautiful view of the seaside. This might be the key I found. Thanks and God bless. Alright, so I think I've gone everywhere in the church. Let's get out of here. Esther's everywhere. These graves were dug much more recently than others in the cemetery. "1715. Here lies Gillis Cutler. Many years ago, he started a prosperous fishing business in this village. 1692. Here lies Arthur Wheeler. His shining, sacred treasure was never found. 1696. Here lies Crescent. She drowned beneath the big stone submerged southeast of the new settlement. Weird. Stranger's running again. Who was that? Who? I don't think there's anything else here. Lighthouse Point. Somebody scribbled down 110 degrees southeast, 10 degrees above the horizon on this paper. These markings look like directional coordinates for orienting. The hell's Havor doing? Oh. For a telescope. Alright, we gotta go back up there. We should do it while there's still enough daylight. Did you win? No, I haven't closed it yet. Got like at least an hour before I close it. I hope you've got more sense than most of us around here, Detective. Suspect added to the case file. My name is Ines Keene, and I'm a retired medical doctor. Now I run this lighthouse. It's a simple life with a lot less pressure. Better for me. Unfortunately, I don't know who killed Pearl. She's not the first in this village to die young either. Oh, you read that old newspaper article about me. I used to take so much pride in being the town doctor. Leaving my medical practice in this town was the hardest, saddest decision I ever made. I keep going over it all in my mind. Is it my fault that I couldn't save those poor kids? I don't know what it was we saw at the library. It doesn't make sense. I'm a firm believer in science over superstition. Todd invited young Tanya and I on a hike around the Lost Settlement. That place is big and confusing, but we certainly didn't see any ghosts. It'll take more to make me believe. After the meeting, I walked home. My cat can confirm my alibi. Can't you, Snookums? I don't really talk to many people here anymore. Murder Inc. After watching those kids get sick, it's just too hard. I can't help but feeling like, as the town doctor, I failed. Does that make me a victim of the curse too? I've done my own research into the subject to try and make sense of it. Whoever heard of a ghost giving people cancer? My belief is that Elias Abel's curse can be attributed to natural causes. It's true that the rocky soil in this lost settlement made it hard to grow crops. Food shortages leads to famine, and famine leads to contagious diseases. But the cancer cases plaguing this town today, that's got to be something else. Thanks, Doctor. I don't observe anything suspicious about the lighthouse beacon. Maybe it'll become important later. I guess when it's dark. Let's see what we can find looking through the telescope with the coordinates on that piece of paper. 10 degrees southeast, 10 degrees above the horizon. Due north is here, so... Telescope coordinates point to the lost settlement. Gee, this is underwhelming. I don't see what's so special about this view. It's just a rock. It's partially submerged by the ocean tide. Why would anyone spy on this? Somebody did. Dun dun dun. Alright, now let's go see if there's anything else up this way. No, I don't think there's anything else by the lighthouse. Nothing else at the beach. I wish it would show me where we are. Eight's the beach. I don't think I've gone this way. Jeez, this is a big area. It's a wooden oar used to row a small boat, such as a canoe. What's it doing here, hidden in this wood? Alright, we'll go talk to Todd after we explore this area. It's almost half of them. This is a drawing dedicated to the victim, Pearl. Someone put a lot of care into this art. For E-Girl Pearl, from your biggest fan, Tanya. Tanya Nichols? That's the girl in the church. What was she doing behind the victim's cottage? The clue is saved. Oh, now we gotta go back to the church to talk to her. Okay, noted. Mansion? Todd Beckett, at your service. I'm Todd Beckett, and here is my estate. I own Beckett Chemicals in Amesport. What a horrible tragedy. If I can help your investigation in any way, I'm at your disposal. I heard about E-Girl Pearl's death last night. She was so young, such a talent, such charisma. Cheap viewers? No thank you. It seems like she finally saw a real ghost. Last night at the library. I guess we were the last to see her alive. Put it this way. One of my golf buddies is the greediest, most opportunist real estate developer around. Even he knows to stay away from the Lost Settlement. That place is forbidden. Dr. Keen and I recently took a hike back there with some local teenagers. I was all ready to tell my buddy Gordon Cutler that there's no ghost and no curse. I learned the hard way. Could it really be possible that my excursion into the Lost Settlement is the cause of all this? That we treaded on holy ground and angered a ghost from over 300 years ago? Last night, after the meeting, I stayed out late with Gordon Cutler and Camellia Crescent. They saw me head home. If I had come back through the village center to kill Pearl, they'd have seen me. Cheap bits on. So no, I'm not your man, detective. Gordon Cutler may seem crazy, but he was right all along. We should have stayed out of the Lost Settlement. He's taking his fishing business problems very hard. Blames everything on the curse. Understandable. That should reset everything. Understandable that this has been a rough time for him mentally. I just hope he's all right. That's it. Alright, so now we need to go to the church. We are at the cemetery, which down and over to the church. Okay, I kind of understand the map. I mean, I understand it, but I just wish there was a "you were here." Excuse me, Anya? Sorry to bother you. Is this your drawing? Hey, how'd you find that? I recovered it from the outside of the victim's cottage. This is a murder investigation, so I suggest you cooperate. Suspect added to case file, Tanya Nichols, local teenager and huge Pearl Brayshaw fan. Thank you, John. You're right. I'll talk. I understand. My parents have been so preoccupied with my brother since he got sick. It's actually nice to talk to somebody. My name is Tanya Nichols. I'm 15, and I live here in Cape Crescent. Oh yeah, and I'm the biggest E-Girl Pearl fan ever. I'm obsessed. I watch her streams religiously. E-Girl Pearl was a saint. I can't believe she was here in our village this whole month, and I didn't know. Murder! Recently, my brother was diagnosed with cancer. I posted about it on social media. Most popular influencers don't pay attention to their fans and only care about their popularity. Pearl was different. When Pearl found out about my brother, she used her stream to raise donations to help my family cover our expenses. I know Pearl and her own problems. I know Pearl had her own problems, too. She was very open with her fans, but she always put others first. How could she turn up dead like this? Unbelievable. Or don't care about his fans. Wow, Horror, is that true? We learned about the ghost of Elias Abel in school. I was hoping Pearl would do a show about the Lost Settlement. I went on the tour of the Lost Settlement with Mr. Beckett and the Historical Society group. We didn't see anything. I was going to write to Pearl and tell her not to waste her time. I'm a little embarrassed about this now. I found out at the library that e-girl Pearl was in town. When she left the library last night, I followed her home. I wanted so badly to meet her, but I could tell from her body language that she was not happy. I stayed outside her cottage. I could hear her arguing with her roommate. Then she left abruptly and went back out into the night. Some fans have been waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 since last year? Wow, Horror, wow. I knew something was wrong. I could have stopped her. I was too nervous. If only I had the courage to speak to my hero. Now, I'll never get a chance. Rude. I haven't promised anything I haven't done. I mean, I have a lot in my to-do list. And apparently I'm racing you in Star Wars. I'm not logged into Asana. Logged in. Time for pie. I mean, I need to get to Avatar, I need to get to... There's a lot I need to get to. I don't know what happened, but I can tell you what else I saw. While Pearl was at the library meeting, I waited out on the beach. That's when it happened. Sounds like I should quit my side gig. This is my side gig. It's not really a side gig. Wow, just wow. Monday night. Stalker.
Are you still there?
Some kind of light was shining from the water onto the windows in the back room of the library. It was coming from some kind of floating barge out in the bay, but it was too dark to see clearly. When I came back this morning for another look, it was gone. What do you make of that, detective? Because you didn't buy pumpkin. 7 out of 8. The 8th suspect is still at large. Let's go to the bridge. I wonder if the Detective Dudley has had any better luck finding the suspicious stranger. Let's ask. Yes. Well, Detective Guy, you've explored the whole village and met everybody, but we still haven't found our man. You let me down. Mr. Stranger could be anywhere by now. Unless you could find our suspect, I'm afraid the trail has gone cold. Can you find the stranger? Yes. Don't worry. I think I can locate him. Show me. It is almost that time of year. Good assistance, Detective. I've got him, and I'll take it from here. Young man, I'm arresting you for the murder of... Hold on, I can explain my actions. I guess I have no choice now. Detective Dudley, why don't you let me speak to the suspect first? We still don't know what... We don't know that he's the killer. He was seen near the crime scene, and he's been hiding from the police. That's enough proof for me. I'm sorry. I'll talk. Please give me a chance. I missed the whipped cream. Alright, detective guy, go ahead, but I'm not letting him leave the area. I'm deeply sorry for making things so difficult. I'll tell you everything. Suspect added. I'm no stranger. My name is Roy Parker, and Pearl Brayshaw was my girlfriend. I came here to visit her last night. Uh-oh. Let's see what it does. Pearl and I had been together for a while, and I wanted to see her. I showed up at her cottage late last night as a surprise. Everyone knew her as E-Girl Pearl. Because of her social media limelight, she kept me a secret from fans. It was hard for me. All these fans on the internet dotting on her, putting a strain on our relationship. Finally, some obsessed stalker fan found out about me, and then they doxed her. She constantly got harassed by angry fans. If only I could have protected her. Pearl and I used to go ghost hunting for her stream. Who do you think held the camera for her? The camera. That's it. Where's Pearl's camera? Now you'll see why I've been hiding. When I found her dead body, I knew I'd be suspected. Jill said that Pearl had gone out to meet someone. She was vague about the details. Jealousy, I assumed. It must have been another guy. So I went out looking for Pearl. Somehow I stumbled onto Gallows Point. That's where I found her. There I was, standing over my girlfriend's dead body. My first thought was that she'd killed herself, seeing the rope around her neck. But that didn't seem like Pearl. I knew, when I looked close at the rope, it didn't seem right. That's when it hit me. I realized what a jealous rage I was in. I didn't know what to do. I realized that it looked like I had the motive and the opportunity. So I fled from the scene of the crime and I went into hiding. I didn't kill Pearl in a jealous rage, detective. Pearl's memory chip stores the footage from each of her shots before she uploads it. You should look for Pearl's camera. She usually took her camera with her. She might have recorded something important. Pearl's new expensive camera was in her bedroom back at the cottage. It's probably still on the tripod. Come with me. I'll take you there. Oh no, you're not. You're not going anywhere. What if you run away again? We still don't know you're not the killer. Very well. Jill should be done with her work shift at the coffee shop. Now, if you go to the cottage, she'll let you in. Please, detective, find Pearl's camera. This is the only way to show I'm innocent. Sorry for your loss, bruh. Weekend at Bernie's. (22 of 40). The dog bags have slowed down. What the heck? What happened? Beware my curse. In this part of the story, our detectives may get ambushed by the ghost of Elias Abel. Wow. Elia Abel's ghost will chase you. If the ghost catches you, something bad will happen, so watch out. Choose your difficulty level for ghost chase gameplay. Clues won't appear in an area while the ghost is chasing you. To escape from the ghost, exit the area by finding a green arrow. Don't forget to save your game and take advantage of multiple save slots. Interesting. You've unlocked a new area. Check the map. Alright, so let's save file 1. Yes. File 2. Save. File 3. Save. File 4. Save. Alright, we got 4 saves. I don't know how many we need. I need to use the restroom notes. I'll be right back. Y'all are silly. Where are we? Blushing Meadows. It was already in our database. Jill Harding's diary. 2 months ago, I betrayed my best friend. I was the one who doxed Pearl and leaked the photo of her boyfriend online. It's not fair that she gets to have all these fans and also have a great relationship. Some jealous, petty friend I am. Pearl is moving in with me here. I haven't told her what I did. I see how much she cares for her fans. At least Pearl being here will break up the monotony of my boring job. If I had a devoted guy like Roy Parker, I'd treat him better than she does. Pearl hasn't paid the rent. She bought that expensive camera for her stream instead. I can't let Pearl find this diary, so I'm gonna take it with me to work. I hope I don't lose it. This is her last entry. That's an interesting, $27, 13 left. It's some antique rope. This looks like the same frayed, tattered rope that was found around Pearl Brayshaw's neck. There it is. The clue is saved to your case file. I created 4 in case. Exactly. Oh my gosh, it's the ghost. What? Never mind, it's you two. You two startled me. Do you believe me now, detectives? My ancestors were part of the Puritan mob during the witch trials, after all. You won't see me step 1 foot outside in this accursed night. This area was haunted in colonial times, and it's haunted now. How can I restore the glory of my family business when I'm living in constant fear of this ghostly curse? What a terrible night. Did you kill her? How many times do I have to tell you? She was killed by Elias Abel's ghost. First the fish in the bay got sickly, then those kids got sick. Now Pearl Brayshaw's death. The rope found on her body matches the rope found here in your warehouse. Pearl Brayshaw was hanged by a vengeful ghost from the witch trials. Go ahead and lock me up if you think I'm crazy. I don't have to listen to this. Be careful. $11 left. The library is locked. Good evening. Pearl's bedroom is on the left. Pearl Brayshaw's camera tripod, but there's no camera. Where's the camera? Maybe her roommate knows something about the camera's whereabouts. Two months ago, I'm learning that being famous isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Ever since that picture of Roy and I got leaked on social media, the harassment doesn't end. They even found out where I live. I've decided to leave the city and move in with my friend Jill in her small village of Cape Crescent. There's a local legend about a witch trial ghost, which would be fun to investigate for the stream. Awesome! I'm still getting hate mail from possessive parasocial fans. This whole thing feels like a witch hunt of its own. Jordan, I do not want you to step on my jersey. Want to become famous? Unfortunately, I'm the witch. I used the rent money to buy that expensive camera. I shouldn't have done that. Jill is right to be annoyed. Hester's new pink dog toy that I bought recently got lost too. I've searched all over the cottage and the yard, but it's nowhere to be found. Fortunately, it looks like I found a way to make some money quickly. Sus. But I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do. Even in spite of everything, I'll still do anything for my fans. If it wasn't for them, I'd be slinging lattes. I owe it to my fans to be a positive role model. How would those kids out there feel if they knew I did this? I'm not sure what to do. That's her last entry. You looking for Pearl's camera? She always kept it on the tripod in her bedroom. You're saying Pearl's camera isn't on the tripod? That's weird. Last night when I opened the door to this cottage, Pearl's dog Hester came bounding outside. The dog had something in her mouth. It must have been the camera. Hester ran east, down the street, in the direction of the cemetery. Maybe the camera's still there. Come on, Jordan. Get down, please. Do you think Pearl might have recorded a clue on her camera? Yes. I heard that police caught Roy Parker tried to leave town. I don't know. I didn't know what Pearl saw in the library, but something strange is going on in this village. I came straight home when my work shift ended, and I'm not going outside till daylight. I want to live long enough to do something with my life besides work a boring job. I'm going to find a way to make a difference. Come on, detective. Pearl was my roommate and best friend. You think I'd kill her just because the rent was late? Alright, I admit it. I was super jealous. She had a great boyfriend, and she treated him like crap. I'd kill for a guy who treated me like Roy treated her. That came out all wrong. I didn't mean it like that. I hope you can solve this case soon and without drawing too much attention. I'm staying in here with my plants. Whatever we saw last night, it can't mean anything good. My ancestor drowned near the lost settlement because of the curse. I'm not messing around with any local legends today. I'm planning to write a new chapter of this town history book when it's all over. Just keep the press out of our nice quiet community. I heard the police apprehended that outsider. The description matches the guy I saw last night. Have they charged him? Did you kill her? I did not do it. I wasn't thrilled about the idea of her making videos in the lost settlement and getting millions of views. I grew up in Cape Crescent, and all I want is for this town to stay nice and quiet like it's always been. Now that the news of her murder is going to appear in the headlines, I suppose it doesn't matter either way. Stay safe. Only 8 more. It's a metal detector. I don't see what we need this for right now, though. I like how we just barge into people's houses. Good evening. What news of the case? This whole ordeal has made me into a believer. I value my life, so I'm staying away from the Lost Settlement. Of course, I'll do what I can to help rebuild this community. I heard the police found the suspect. Did they make any arrests? Did you kill her? I did not kill Pearl. I wanted to hire her. My firm has been looking for a fresh young face to appear in our infomercial videos. E-Girl Pearl would have been our perfect commercial picture. She turned my offer down. Cold turkey, though. That girl didn't have any kind of sense for money. Thanks and stay safe. Be caught by the ghost, so let's save onto file 1. Options. I guess I can't load it. Why didn't I die? Where am I going? Well, let's go look through the spyglass at night. What brings you to my church at this late hour? My faith will keep me safe from any devilish ghost. I'll never doubt again. I vowed to stay alive so I can perform the communion ceremony for Tanya's sick brother next week. Did you kill her? No, I did not touch Pearl. I admit that I think, oh, I gotta go to the cemetery, that it's blasphemous for her to talk to young, impressionable minds on the internet about ghosts. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill, and I take the word of God very seriously. God bless. Let's get out of this church. So is murder game over? Yeah, usually when you die of murder, it is game over. Fancy meeting you here. It's funny you should mention looking for a camera. You'll never believe what I saw. I'm getting a spam call from 661 area code. Earlier tonight, this dog came through the cemetery carrying a camera in his mouth. Your caller said Hester. I took the dog's camera to the library. That way Camellia Crescent could put it in the lost and found. Camellia looked like she was just about to close up for the night. These fresh graves are the graves of the former patients. I tried my best to help them, but I was unable to find a cure. Sometimes, all that death can make you feel numb. The despair can be overwhelming. Some of them were my neighborhood kids. They were my friends. Now all I can do is talk to their spirits at night. That's why people say I wander around the cemetery at night. This is my way of making peace with the dead. Cancer killed these poor children, not some ghostly curse. I hope you've got the brains to get to the bottom of this mystery. You know, your determination and tenacity have inspired me, Detective, both of you. Jags, yep. And they're winning right now. You and Cleo aren't giving up on solving this case, and I won't give up being the doctor for this town. I'm still going to do everything I can to help this village. No more hiding. There's a Lawrence jersey. Wife got it for me. Yes, I say murder. Only murders in this building. Did you kill her? You really think I'll harm a sweet girl? I have to admit, when she started asking me about what happened to my parents, it made me very uncomfortable. I had to snap at her to shut that invasive camera off. But no, this village has already seen too many young people dying before their time. So I gotta get to the library, but the library's closed. Some waterlogged wood that must have drifted ashore this evening. Looks like some part of a makeshift barge that was floating out in the bay. The lighthouse is locked. I can see all the way to the village center, looking here to the south. It makes me think. I came here to get a closer look at the lighthouse, but that's not what I saw last night. I know it's dangerous here at night, but I've got to help Pearl, like she helped me. The light shining towards the library window was something different. Did you kill her? You're asking if I killed E-Girl? No way. I'm her biggest fan. I admit that I followed her home from the library and I waited behind her cottage. I may be a bit creepy, but not kill her. It's preseason though. It's still fun to see though. I think I've done everything I can here. Is this the librarian's house? You say you're tracking down a missing camera? Yes, actually I have seen a camera. Dr. Keene brought me a lost camera just before the library closed, but it wasn't really lost at all. Gordon Cutler recognized it and thanked me for finding his camera. He took it with him back to his fish warehouse. Okay. Back to the warehouse. I think so. I mean, I have it on. I can't really hear it. village center. What camera? I've got a witness who can place you with the victim's camera earlier tonight. Do I need to remind you that I'm investigating a murder? Alright, I'll tell the truth. I needed the money. You want to know how desperate I am? I borrowed Todd Beckett's metal detector to comb the beach for lost jewelry. I lied to Camellia Crescent and said the camera was mine. I was going to sell it. Good, then you'll give me the camera now. It's evidence. I can't. The camera's gone. What? I lost it. I went to the church. I set the camera down on the pew. Pew, 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 and turned my back for a moment, and it was gone. I'm sorry, I lied. But that's all I know. Maybe the camera is still at the church. Ah, right. Witnessing a murder on a football field tonight. Indeed. Alright, back to the church. TGIF. Alright, I don't see the camera in here. Gordon Cutler says he lost his camera here in the church. The only other soul to come in here tonight was young Tanya. Oh my god, now we gotta go back up to her? I agreed to perform a special communion rite for Tanya's poor brother. I saw Tanya leave the direction of the lighthouse. God bless. The sound effects are good. You're looking for E-Girl Pearl's camera? I saw that fisherman with it in the church. I recognize her camera from social media. People shouldn't take other people's belongings, especially not E-Girl Pearl's. So what did any good biggest fan would do? When his back was turned, I swiped it and ran away. Oh no! I don't have the camera anymore. I saw someone coming and I got nervous. I thought it might have been him chasing after me. So I buried the camera in the sand on the beach to hide it from him, you know? Don't tell me I gotta get the metal detector. Honestly, I don't even remember where I buried it. You and your dog will have to dig up the whole beach. I'm really sorry. Was the camera a clue? Great. Pearl's camera is lost somewhere under the beach sand. What are we gonna do now, Cleo? Wait a second. Gordon Cutler said something about a metal detector. After his business suffered, he used Todd Beckett's metal detector to comb the beach. We could borrow Todd Beckett's metal detector. Help find the camera. Come on, Cleo. Let's go find Todd. Man, we're just running all over this world. Get ready to stream at 7. Jimmy's probably going to start streaming again. Bedtime in a few hours. Indeed it is. Alright, we got the metal detector. We didn't even ask, we just took it. The cemetery, and up to the beach. Let's use the metal detector. Leo found a clue. Jordan is so disappointed. This is E-Girl Pearl's webcam. Finally, now we can see what's on it. The clue is saved to your case file. Cleo deserves a treat. Great work, Cleo. Let's take the camera back to the bridge and show it to the detective. Now that we got Pearl's camera, let's go watch the footage with the detective. The camera, you've got it. Good work, detectives. Alright, let's go watch the victim's footage. Dang, I'm almost out of battery. Oh well, here it goes. What's up, everyone? This is E-Girl Pearl. I'll continue streaming Paladin Dream later this week. But first, tonight, I've got something special for everybody watching. I'm here exploring spooky ghost town somewhere in a small village. This place has supposedly been cursed since colonial times, but I haven't seen anything surprising yet. Oh my gosh, what is that? No way, I don't believe it. Ouch, that's the end of my camera battery life. It looks like Pearl found something startled her. What was it? Detective Dudley, I think it's time that Cleo and I explored the lost settlement. At night? Yes. Pearl Brayshaw went in there at night. We also found evidence that someone was using the church tower to spy on the lost settlement. That settles it then. You have my permission to enter the lost settlement. But if something happens to you in there because of your own foolishness, it's your own fault. Let's be careful, Cleo. Alright, I think we should save. What's up, Cadillac? What's up? Evil Zion. You've unlocked a new area. Check the map menu for an updated map. I'll be keeping an eye on things here, despite what Detective Dudley says. I don't want to see you in trouble. It's a small fishing boat, like Gordon Cutler's would use for his business. He's the only fisherman in the village. When I spoke to Mr. Cutler, he said he was unable to work because the fish here were showing signs of sickness. So what's this fishing boat doing here? The clue saved. How did Hester get in the lost settlement? Could Hester have strangled her owner? No. You're right, Cleo. That's ridiculous. Dog suspect. Ooh, 6 more. It's amazing that Elias Abel's chapel is still standing, considering that the building is from colonial times. 5 more. This old parchment has a message from colonial times inscribed on it. Before the settlement was lost, this holy relic was embossed. To find the long-forgotten prize, look the angel in the eyes. The poem reads like a riddle, leading to a treasure. What could it mean? Now we just need to go back and forth and comb this whole area. This group of cellar holes must be where the abandoned Puritan settlement once stood. I could hear them. I don't know if they did. This object looks buried. The sky still looks like a rock. Hologram projector. This could have been used to render the ghost image outside the library, as seen by the Historical Society. Ooh, another treat. 3 more. Man. Two more. Oof. Hopefully they're in here. This is what we saw from the church tower observation deck, but with one extremely important difference. It was high tide then, and now it's low. I bet high tide conceals the mouth of this underwater cave, which is only accessible at low tide. Uh-oh. Now you're my prisoners. You'll never reveal my secret. That rock fell on the mouth of the cave. We're stuck inside. You're right, Cleo. We've got 15 minutes to find all the clues and escape before high tide comes. You better hurry. Let's go 5, 6, 7, 8. It is late. Barrels of toxic waste. This explains a lot of the infertile soil, poisoned fish, local children with cancer. These barrels of toxic waste are the true curse in the lost settlement. Someone has gone through a lot of trouble to keep this horrible secret hidden. Why didn't the achievement pop for the 40? There's a whole... fancy fountain pen that an important business person would use. Beckett Chemicals. Todd Beckett. That must be Todd Beckett's chemical firm. Who is saved? Trader Joe's Meatloaf. Let's get back to the entrance and see if we can find a way out. Alright, let's see if we can even get out. Hey, it's a dog toy. I bet they both have... I bet they were both in this cave. No, Cleo, this toy's not for you. It's a clue. $7.99 is not too bad, though. Not on a working man's salary. Hester, what is it? Detective guy, Cleo, is that you? Yes, we're trapped behind this rock that fell in the cave. Don't worry, help is on the way. This dog just saved your lives. You two are very lucky. Hester kept barking at me until I followed her to the spot where you were trapped. We've got to bring Pearl's killer to justice for Hester. See you back later. Wow, third?
SMS received.
Goldie. It's a fun little game. You two have meddled in my affairs for the last time. You shall suffer the eternal curse of the lost settlement. For everyone else, you can check it out for $3.99. I think I figured out the who mystery, and I know who killed Pearl and how it was done. Time to meet the detective. The mystery is solved. Really think you can outsmarted me? Alright, I'll play along because I think you will fail. There's still a few small things we need to take care of. Then I'll be waiting in the meeting room in the library, where the historical societies are held. Please make sure all 8 suspects are present. We'll have ready just like you want, but it's your funeral. How did it enter? I closed it. Didn't I? I did not. The close button did
SMS
not work.
received.
That's funny. Waiting for the non-loyals to switch for draw 2. No, I only have one draw. This is getting outrageous. Just how much longer do you intend on keeping us as prisoners here? You are any closer to figuring out who killed E-Girl? I did have a bonus copy of this. Mr. Coolness already got it. Is there really a ghostly curse on our village? Of course there is. That's nonsense. I still don't believe it. Thank you all for coming. Well, game over. All clear. What do you expect all of us to do? There's one more missing clue. We're still trying to track down. I called you all here to enlist your help. Pearl's camera. Just before her death, Pearl had recently bought an expensive new camera. We're searching for the old camera that she replaced. The victim had a second camera? That'll be my streaming death. Wow. That's right. Pearl took her old camera with her when she left the house last night. I also remember the camera she used on her stream before she moved here. Yes, where is it now? So you think one in our flock is hiding it? Are you going to arrest all of us? I know where it is. Hold up, you do? Yeah, I found it on the street, and I recognized the camera from E-Girl Pearl's show, so I took it and hid it. Where? I brought it to Gallows Point, and I put it near the statue of Elias. I wanted to keep it safe. It's too dark to start hunting for it now. We'll have to wait until morning. I've had a really long day. All of you, stay in your homes until morning. It's dangerous to wander about alone at night. We'll conduct a thorough search of the area tomorrow. In the dead of the night. I've got to hurry and find that blasted camera before sunrise. It must be around here somewhere. How could I have been so foolish as to overlook her second camera? Games are going off. I don't see anything here. Where the devil is it? We've got him. Now, hit him with the lighthouse beacon. Ready? Freeze. We've got you surrounded. Curses. Good work, everyone. Got him. Capture the culprit. Alright, we're gonna go 13, 14, 15, and 16. Choose your difficulty level for the answering the questions. Yes. Well, detective, you've got me taken aback. Who knew the reports of all these ghost sightings were real? You still have me in the dark, though. Who is the consumed clown? Why did they kill Pearl? How was it done? What about the hideous thing everybody saw during the Historical Society meeting? Yes, I believe you and Cleo still owe me an explanation. It was surprisingly simple once Cleo found all the right clues. Pearl was killed because she discovered the murderer's deep, dark secret. Absolutely anything was necessary to protect it. The secret lay in the heart of the area known as the Lost Settlement, a spooky sealed-off colonial ghost town with a curse. Pearl's murderer carefully guarded the secret through constant observation. They did their best to convince the already suspicious residents of the Cape Crescent that it didn't exist. The observation deck on top of the church tower is the highest point in Cape Crescent. From here, the culprit used this instrument to spy on the Lost Settlement and keep watch on their secret side table. Telescope coordinates. That explanation is not consistent with the facts, so maybe you should think about Okay. Highest point. From there, the culprit used to spy on the tide table. What? Come on. Oh, on their telescope. I was saying what they're looking at. Keep a watchful eye on the lost settlement from afar. You found a telescope? Alright, but how do you know what they were looking at? We found something written down that told us telescope coordinates. These scientific notes marked an important area of the southeast. While our murderer was spying, they were also careful to make sure nobody else spied on them. As a precaution, they stole this item to prevent anyone else from entering the church. The key. But there was nothing to see in the lost settlement. Forests and ruins. Dean, Beckett, and Tanya Nichols took a walk in the lost settlement. None of them reported anything strange. That's because the murderer took them through the lost settlement at a time when they wouldn't see anything strange. They used some kind of ghostly magic to hide something? It wasn't magic at all. They used a very common tool, the tide table. The tide table, the murderer brought witnesses in the lost settlement to confirm that there was nothing suspicious there. The group walked through the park. At high tide, there was nothing to see. The murderer's secret was submerged by the ocean at high tide, but visible at low tide. That's when we watched the footage on her webcam. Pearl was in the lost settlement and she stumbled onto the killer's secret? Well, what exactly was she looking at? Crescent Crescent's grave inscription in the cemetery described as drowning beneath a big stone in the area. When I looked through the telescope using the coordinates, all I saw was the submerged rock. That's because I was looking through the scope at high tide. Low tide, there's quite a different view. Pearl Grayshaw discovered a hidden underwater cave that was only accessible when the tide was down. So that's when Pearl stumbled upon. So that's what she stumbled upon. The cave and the secret of the lost settlement. And who would go through all this trouble to keep a cave secret? Let's examine the legend of Elia Abel and the curse of the lost settlement. First, on Gallows Point, we learned that someone was hanged there during the witch trials. As I explored the Cape Crescent, I found something that provided a detailed account of the curse of the legend. The books. From reading the Historical Society books in the library, we learned that the full story of Elias Abel. Before his death at the hands of the witch trials, he cursed the new settlement that was to be built on his land. The new village died out quickly, and spooky history of the lost settlement was born. But what exactly were the characteristics of this supernatural curse? What did the curse do? I read the books, as well as you have. We know the new settlement died out due to disease, famine, and fear. Those phenomena are also possible to explain by natural causes. How's that? The rocky soil found in the area of the lost settlement, which is hard to farm and grow crops, which leads to a food shortage. Malnutrition population from a lack of food is prone to disease. During the witch trials, the Puritans were a superstitious people, as we've seen from some of their descendants today. Today, the locals also attributed more recent events to Elia Abel's curse. Gordon Cutler lamented the decline of his fishing business, which was caused by a more modern problem: poisoned fish. The poisoned fish in the bay cost Gordon Cutler his livelihood, as his family fishing business struggled. He attributed this misfortune to Elias Abel's curse on the land. Dr. Enos retired from her medical practice because of a recent local tragedy: cancer cases. Lost her confidence after the death of local children in her care due to cancer. After seeing the ghost of Elias Abel appear during the meeting at the library, she wondered if this was all due to the curse. The suffering even shook the faith of the father, Wheeler, priest of the church. Were these problems caused by a curse from a witch trials, or could there be another rational explanation? So you're saying that Pearl discovered the real causes, that's what was in the cave? When Cleo and I entered the underwater cave, we found that the proof Pearl Brayshaw had seen there too. Huh? When Cleo and I entered the underwater cave, we found this proof. Oh, the dog toy. Freeze! The dog toy. Cleo and I found it while exploring the cave. Telltale sign that Pearl and her dog had been in the cave. They found what? You keep saying there's this big secret in the cave that explains everything. Yes. So what's the secret if Cave Crescent's problems today weren't caused by ghostly hocus pocus? What's the reason? Toxic waste. The hidden cave was full of biohazardous toxic waste barrels, poisoning the community. Oh my goodness, that explains everything. The poisoned fish, the cancer cases, and why it was so important to keep the secret. Now you're catching on. So the murderer killed Pearl Brayshaw because she found the toxic waste barrels. Yes, sir. As the murderer looked on from atop of the church tower, they saw Pearl enter the hidden cave. She had to be silenced. If you're so smart, who killed Pearl? Todd Beckett. Pearl Brayshaw killer is Todd Beckett. It wasn't for you stupid kids and your dog. He hid the toxic waste produced by his chemical firm to avoid spending millions of dollars cleaning it up. You Bush League detectives won't stand a chance against my high-priced lawyers. I don't see my name written anywhere on those toxic waste barrels, do you? The coincidence that I run a chemical company doesn't prove that I had anything to do with that toxic waste dump. That's because I haven't yet mentioned that the clue which puts you in the underground cave is the pen. Cleo and I found your golden Beckett Chemicals fountain pen inside the cave. Mark Brunel. You hid your firm's toxic waste in the lost settlement, and then you killed Pearl because she discovered it. After the Historical Society meetings ended, Pearl went to Gallows Point for her planned meeting with Todd. Her roommate told me that after they argued about missed rent, Pearl left the cottage again. Jill told Pearl's boyfriend, Roy. Because of this secret, Roy mistakenly concluded that it was a romantic rendezvous. But she really saw Todd Beckett, who offered her hush money because of what he knew she'd found. That's fine. You'll get your code still. Glad you can make it, e-girl Pearl. What do you think that was we saw through the library window? Was it scary enough for social media? I really have no idea, Mr. Beckett. You know, I've seen your videos, and you're quite marvelous. Thank you. Beckett Chemicals is looking for a public face for our online video promotions. I believe you got just what it takes. We could even sponsor your stream, then you can finally afford to get some decent equipment. No more pesky troubles with camera running out of juice. What do you say? I'm not sure. Pearl, I know you think you saw something in the lost settlement. You've been under an awful lot of pressure. Can you really be sure of what you saw, especially with all your financial troubles? Those bills keep piling up. What I'm saying is I could make all that go away. And all you have to do is stick to gaming and leave investigations for real reporters. I can't. I'm sorry, Mr. Beckett. I owe my fans the truth. Good, good. It's morally the right thing to do. Oh, but Pearl, I really think you made the wrong decision. Hey, let go! The emotes come in big sometimes. Oh, yes, that is me as a big emote. There were some clues that suggest Pearl had met someone about the prospect of financial gains. In her diary, Pearl wrote something about a lucrative but questionable business opportunity. Fortunately, it looks like I found a way to make some money quickly, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. I owe it to my fans to be a positive role model. How would those kids out there feel if they knew I did this? I'm not sure what to do. At the Cape Crescent Historical Society meeting, the security camera captured the conversation when the ghost appeared. How much time? Okay. I'm like at the end of the game. My camera's dead. I said I'd fix it. I'd fix it. Todd wasn't talking literally about Pearl's camera. He was looking to pay her off and urging her to consider his offer. That's what their conversation was really about. And we had it on camera. What exactly was that thing they all saw outside the library window? Is the ghost of Elias Abel really terrorizing? It's a hoax. The ghost appearing at the library was an elaborate hoax set up by Todd. He did it to draw attention away from the real reason he killed Pearl, and to scare everyone in Cape Crescent away from the Lost Settlement. When exploring the Lost Settlement, Cleo and I found what was used to create the image of the ghost. The projector. The hologram projector Todd used this device to shine a realistic three-dimensional image of the ghost. This was the apparatus used to display the ghost image on the water, seen from the library window. The driftwood floating barge, was rigged up in the bay. It would be difficult to see at night. Todd got unlucky when Cleo and I found part of the barge washed up on the beach. Very well. Then why did Todd Beckett dress up in a costume like Elias Abel's ghost? Because he knew we were on his trail. He was desperate. Cleo and I had become a threat. If he could do away with us and make it look like the ghost, that might have ended the investigation. Todd was even brazen enough to trap us inside the underwater cave in the Lost Settlement. Cleo and I made a narrow escape with our lives. The whole story you've concoct, while incredibly entertaining, ignores one obvious fact, which is that I have an alibi. Amelia Crescent and Gordon Cutler both saw me leave that library and go home. My house is on the other side of the cape. If I had walked from my house back through the village center to the Gallows Point, they'd have seen me, so I couldn't have killed E-Girl Pearl. He's got a point, Detective. There's no way he could have walked back to the crime scene unnoticed. But that's because he didn't walk. It's impossible. Are you daft? It's not impossible. It's blindingly obvious. How did Todd Beckett get to the gallows without being seen? A boat. He took a boat. Cape Crescent is situated on the Massachusetts coast, right on the ocean. It would have been easy for our murderer to move about unseen using a boat in the bay. Todd Beckett hid his boat or near some piles of wood in hopes that he wouldn't find it and realize this simple idea. He'd have had no trouble getting around our police roadblocks by sea. Todd Beckett intended to frame the naive and superstitious Gordon Cutler if his plan to blame the curse hit a snag. By planting this item, the police had ruled out the superstition, then the suspicion would have fallen on Gordon Cutler, the crucifix. No. What? Oh, the rope. An antique rope. Todd befriended the struggling Gordon Cutler and allowed him to use his metal detector. This gave him ample opportunity to steal some of Cutler's rope from the fish warehouse. Since Cutler's business was no longer able to catch fish, he also borrowed his friend's boat to move around the bay. That way Gordon Cutler was set up to take the fall for him. That's good enough for me. Todd Bucket, I'm placing you under arrest for the crime of Pearl Brayshaw's murder. You no-talent hack detective. If you didn't have that clue-sniffing dog, the law wouldn't stand a sniff of a chance against me. Yeah. Okay. E-Girl Pearl may have had a pretty face and a big heart, but she had no mind for business. I offered her a golden opportunity to fix her problems, and she passed it up. If she'd only looked out for her own self-interest instead of trying to help every sad fool looking for a handout, then this all might have been avoided. Take him away. Epilogue. The next day. That Cleo is one heck of a clue-sniffing dog. You're very lucky to have her. There's one thing that still bothers me about this case. Where was Pearl Brayshaw's second camera, the one you mentioned at the library? Our culprit was really concerned about the incriminating footage from the second camera, but I never saw any of it. Oh really? That must be because I made it up. There was no second camera. It doesn't exist. I made the whole thing up. There was no second camera? It doesn't exist? You made it up? I did, to draw our ghost out in the open so we could catch him in. It's okay. Well played. Before we assembled the suspects at the library, I spoke privately with Roy, Tanya, and Jill. Dr. Keene was in on it too. I instructed them to corroborate with my story about the second camera to make sure it would be extra convincing. You know, Detective Guy, I really owe you an apology for the shabby way I treated you on this case. The truth is that I know I'm not that great of a detective compared to you. I shouldn't have been so hostile. You've earned my respect. If we work together again, I promise. I accept, and it's okay. Let's order our food. Leo found a total of 40 dog bags while exploring Cape Crescent. Impressive. To show his gratitude, Detective Dudley treated Cleo and Hester to a traditional New England delicacy. Boston cream donut poutine. Truly delicious. Outstanding treat for two fantastic dogs. Hey, do you think Hester knew who killed Pearl? 100 gamer score. Flying toasters. Hello, sub. Around a month after the case ended, I received a letter in the mail from Amelia Crescent. Detective Guy and Cleo, thank you so much for your help solving the affair of E-Girl Pearl's murder. We all appreciate your sleuthing skills and delicate handling with the public. Without you, it would have remained a hopeless, baffling mystery. Bathtub toasters. Ooh, that's bad. Even with the aid of his high-priced lawyers, Todd Beckett was convicted and sentenced for Pearl Brayshaw's murder. You got him. Cleo did a miraculous job finding clues, and you were brilliant in explaining why each clue was important. E-Girl Pearl's fans everywhere are incredibly grateful that you were able to bring her murderer to justice. Your masterful detective work will live on in Cape Crescent local legend. Thanks for everything. And look, Cleo, they all signed the back. Hester too. Well, that does it. How nice. Now I finally have some time to relax and play video games. Yes. Ugh, not again. Hello? Detective Guy, Cleo, we need your help. There's been Let me guess. A murder. It is. It's a Lawrence. Who won? GoldenEye won. Yes, Jags. This side. Number 16. Alright. Yeah, it was a close 31 to 30. But yeah, GoldenEye won the giveaway tonight. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure what I'm streaming. I gotta look it up. Have a great rest of your Friday. Stay safe. Happy gaming. Peace.